This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's start. I'll write business requirement. So we're talking about BMW client. Let me put BMW is operating in, let's say, 25 branches in India. Assuming that BMW is operating in 25 branches in India, and BMW will be using cash journals in three currencies. BMW will be using a cash journals in three currencies, and total, let's say 38 cash journals to be created for BMW. Assuming that this is how you have got the requirement, you identified that BMW is operating in 25 branches and they will be operating this petty cash in three different currencies. And overall, we have decided that there will be 38 cash journals to be created for BMW. Now we need to make a list. What is all this? Now this list is updated in your KDS document. In the KDS document, we will be creating a new tab, or we will be adding a new tab which is related to petty cash or cash journal. In cash journal, we will be writing this code. Let's say cash journal details for KDS document. First one, you will write company code, in which company code petty cash or cash journal is required. Second one is cash journal code. Third one, currency. Next one will be I'll put this here, cash journal description, currency, GL account. Assuming that this is how you are going to get the information. Let me put a different color for this. And I will write the company code 9PBI. This is our company code. Let's say I'm writing around some 6 I'm writing. Like this, you will be having the list of 38 cash journals as per our requirement. Now, cash journal code. How do you want to identify each cash journal? Before you write the code, first we will write the description. For example, you are operating in 25 branches, and in every branch, assuming that you will be using a cash journal to handle your day-to-day cash expenses and cash receipts. So what you will be writing? I will be writing, let's say, BMW, let's say Mumbai cash journal. This description is dynamic, which means based on the client requirement, whatever the way they want to identify that cash account, in the similar way they will be giving us a description. Accordingly, we will be writing the description, but in general, you will be writing Mumbai cash journal or the location, store, any identification that they have for that particular area where the cash is being operated, that name followed by cash journal you will be writing. Purely client requirement, we don't put any description of our own choice. I am writing Mumbai here. Let me put location wise, and here I'll also put INR cash journal. Here Mumbai, let me put dollar cash journal, and here I'll put, let's say, Bangalore INR cash journal. Next one, Chennai INR cash journal. Last one, I'll say Pune INR cash journal. Like this, you will be having a list of 38 or whatever the number of cash journals that we decided. For every cash journal, name and description will be decided as part of your initial discussion with the client. Currency, you are going to write it here. This is INR, this is dollar, this is INR, this is your INR, this is also INR. Based on the currency, you need to segregate the respective currency here. Next one, GL account. GL account we will be freezing later on. This information is what you are going to get from the client during the initial discussion, and cash journal code is something that we will be deciding during the client discussion only. How do they identify the cash journal? Normally we will be going ahead with the sequential order, either 0001, 0002, 0003 or 1001, 1002, 1003. This is how most commonly used cash journal code in any project. It is not standard, but this is how we will be using in general. If your client is having code like, if it is related to Hyderabad, we want to have HYIN, which represents HY for Hyderabad, IN for INR. Similarly for Mumbai, I will say MU and then IN. MU representing Mumbai, IN representing INR. But normally this is not the ideal way of creating a cash journal. We will be proceeding with numerical code only. So what I will do, I will write 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Likewise, I put only this. Okay. Likewise, you have to write until 1038. For everything, there will be a description, there will be a currency. And the last one, you have a GL account. How do we freeze the GL account? This GL account is based on your chart of account GL account group. This is based on chart of account GL account group. Now here we understood one point. So what point we understood here is cash GLs are company code specific. When we talk about cash GLs are company code specific, when you create a BMW Mumbai cash journal for this particular company code, the same GL account will not be created or will not be used for other company code. Unlike for your other related GL account, the same account will be extended to different company codes, but for cash account and for the bank account, it is not the situation. Cash accounts, bank accounts are always company code specific. So here how I am going to do is, first I will take out the cash journal, in short the cash GL account number range. I'll go to FS00. In FS00, if I go to cash GL account, this is the number sequence currently 1210, all zeros. Now what I'll put, 1210, I'll put 1000. I'll put 1210, 1000. So here what I'm trying to say is any GL account which is starting from 1210, 1000 will be used for 9PBI company code for cash. Similarly, assuming that you have another company code, for the other company code, let's say this is for 9PBI company code. On the other side, what I'll do, I'll select something like this too. This maybe I will create 9PBU company code. Let's say this is for US company code. I will segregate a GL account like this. So whenever I am creating any GL account for 9PBI company code, I will be selecting this number range, so that the user who is creating the GL master is aware. For your company code, this is the GL sequence. Whenever you are creating any GL account master for 9PBI company code, GL account number must be within this range. It's a single range. You are just segregating the range to ensure that the GL accounts will not overlap. GL accounts will not overlap, and by looking at the GL account, it will be easy to identify what is the account number and all. Now here what I will do, I am going to maintain a logic in such a way. I am writing 1001 here. Now GL account also I will take, probably, since it is 1000 here, let me take 1000 here. I will take 1000 here. Now my GL account will be 1210 1000 followed by 1004. 3, this is 4. Okay, if you look at this, okay, if you look at this, your cash journal code is 1000, GL account number also 1000. This is 1001, this is also 1001, this is 1002, this is also 1002. Something like this we will be creating in a logical way, so that it will not create confusion even for the user. Tomorrow if your user is trying to understand, I am working on cash journal 1002. What is this GL account? It is straightforward. GL account will be 1210 1002. For example, similarly, you are working for another company code like 9PBU. So what you will do here for the other company code, let's say, if you are working for another company code, assuming, you will be freezing the GL number like this. Now my cash journal codes I will be creating 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. And here my GL account will be 2000, like this. And a description you will be changing accordingly. This is how you will be doing, so that it will be easy for your user to understand, and anybody who is looking at this cash journal code GL account, mapping will be easier. So all these points are to be decided at the time of your initial implementation, at the time of initial project creation itself. Later on, these are not supposed to be changed, because it will create a lot of inconsistencies. Some are created in different logic. Later on, we are introducing another logic. It will create a lot of confusion which logic we are creating the cache journal, or any other process for that matter. So that is why whenever you are working on any implementation project, freezing of the requirement and understanding the naming convention and all is very, very critical. Assuming this is what we are going to do now. Now, when we are working on this cache journal, as we understood, configuration is straightforward. So we have listed configuration here. I will take down these steps. If I put the steps, now I am going to write number according to this. Okay, according to this, I will be writing the number, but you can replace it with any number, whether you may have 38, 20, 10 cache channels. The number of activities that I am going to write now will remain the same. I am going to put this according to 5. Now, this is the configuration step. This is the description of the configuration step. Now, this one you are going to maintain how many times? Let's say cache journal, assuming 5 cash journals. Okay, here we are assuming 5 cash journals and then accordingly writing how many steps you are going to create or how many times you are going to repeat this step. First one, create a GL account for cash journal. If you have 5 cash journals, you are going to create 5 GLs. This is straightforward. 5 cash journals, straight away 5 GLs will be created. Second one, define number range interval for cash journal document. This is one time setting, irrespective of number of cash journal. This is a company code level setting. You will be defining this only one time. Single time you are going to maintain this configuration irrespective of number of company codes, number of configurations that you have, because it's a company code level, one company code, one setting. Set up a cash journal. This is based on number of cash journals. You have 5 cash journals. This will be, this setting you need to maintain 5 times, because each time you need to maintain for each cash journal. 5 cash journals in our requirement, 5 times this setting is to be maintained. Next one, maintain business transactions. This is one time only. This is one time. Maintain business transaction is at client level. This is at client level. It's a one-time setting for all your company codes. Even though you have 5 cash journals or n number of cash journals, it's a single time configuration. Next one, set up print cash journal parameters. This is also one-time setting. This is normally the end user activity. This is not the setting. This is your data entry end user activity. This is not applicable. Okay, this is not a config. Now, in short, there are only 2 settings. There are only 2 things that you'll have to repeat, which is your GL account for every cash journal and cash journal setup for every cash journal. Apart from this, you're not going to maintain the settings again and again. Now, tomorrow when somebody is asking you, let's say, have you worked on cash journal? If you say that yes, I have worked on cash journal, or they might give you a scenario or a requirement wherein somebody may ask you if you are working in any support project where your client is already working on cash journal. Now you got a ticket, you got a new requirement to create or to add a new cash journal. What settings you will maintain? What settings you will maintain? You are strictly supposed to say only these 2 settings, GL account creation plus cash journal setup. That's it, nothing beyond that. Because these are all one-time settings. You are not going to maintain these settings every time you add a new cash journal. And tomorrow when somebody is asking you, you have to be very specific. And when you're working in any project, when you're adding a new object or when you're adding another new entry, make sure to add a new functionality of existing functionality. When I say this, we are already using a cash journal. Now there is a requirement to create another cash journal. Are you going to maintain the total configuration A to Z once again, or you are going to maintain only selected configurations which are needed for this requirement? Why we have to think before we do any configuration? There are certain settings which are maintained at client level. There are certain settings which are maintained at company code level. If these are at client level, if these are at client company code level, they may not be required second time creation. So you may have to create only 1 or 2 steps to meet the requirement, not the complete configuration. Now this is one of your example where you need to understand this kind of a point. Now here, this is the configuration point we need to do. First point, what we need to do is we have to maintain the configuration. We will be doing the configuration shortly. After that, legacy data for cash journals. Next point we need to understand is legacy data for cash journal. When we talk about legacy data for cash journal, we need to understand if there is any existing cash balance in your existing cash journal. How do you migrate the legacy data into your S4? Normally what we will do for any other GL account, for any other account balances, we will be passing an accounting entry or we will be uploading based on BDC, LTMC, migrate your data, LSMW, whatever the tool application that we are using. But when it comes to cash journal, this is not uploaded based on the JV, based on the GL posting. Okay, so opening balance of cash journal cannot be uploaded using BDC, LTMC or migrate your data. Using these points, you are not going to upload cash journal legacy balances, because if you upload legacy balances using this, your cash journal will not tally. Your cash journal will not tally. We have seen yesterday, only when you process entry in the cash journal screen, it will be reflected in the cash journal screen. If you pass a manual entry, it will not be reflected in cash journal screen. And your cash journal or your cash account is subject to daily reconciliation. To ensure that the daily reconciliation is performed properly, there is no other go. You have to upload cash journal using a cash journal screen only. You have to upload cash journal using the cash journal only. So here let me write, we need to upload opening balances of cash journal using cash journal screen only. Okay, for this we need to create a new business transaction in T code FBCJC2. New business transaction, what you will be creating is you can create something like opening balance upload. Something like this you can create, or cash migration, opening balance upload, any one transaction you need to create. Based on that, we have to upload the cash journal balance into SAP. This is what we have to understand. After that, after uploading legacy balances using FBCJ, we need to make sure the cash balances are updated correctly in the TB, in trial balance. After uploading legacy balances using FBCJ, we need to make sure the cash balances are updated correctly in the trial balance, because we are not posting the direct entry here. You are going to post entry based on the cash journal screen itself. Once you post entry there, you need to ensure the balances are properly uploaded or updated in your trial balance also. This is the another level of verification reconciliation as a consultant, which we have to do in any project wherever you are migrating a petty cache. Okay, now assuming this, what I will create, we will create one petty cache. Let's say I will be creating this petty cache. Okay, in the similar way you can create all the other petty caches. Now here what I'll put, I'll write another column called opening balance. I'll put opening balances some 8,500. Okay, opening balance is 8,500. When we create this, we need to make sure this petty cache is updated. At the same time, opening balance of 8,500 is also migrated. For this, let us see how do we do it in the system. First point, we need to maintain the configuration. To see the configuration, these are the steps. First one is to create the cash journal GL account FS00. This is our GL account which we have decided. 12101000. I'll copy the GL description. Let me go to SAP. I'll click on new account 12101000. This is the account number that we decided. All these account numbers and all pre-decided in your project, and the same thing you need to copy paste when you're creating. And GL account type will be balance sheet account, because currently we are not working on cash account. After understanding the balance sheet account functionality, we will discuss about cash account. Balance sheet account. Account group will be cash balances, and GL account text I am giving here. Okay, Mumbai INR cash. Okay, BMW Mumbai INR cash. You can put a description according to the client requirement. They will tell us what description they want. Accordingly, we will be writing. Next, inside the control data, this cash journal is related to INR. Make sure you put INR currency here. If your cash journal is related to dollar, change the currency to dollar here. Next one, cash account is never open item management. Do not enable open item management for cash. Sort key I'll put 001. Other points are not relevant. Create a bank interest. Thus you can create G001 standard. And for cash account, strictly post automatically only to be enabled, and relevant to cash flow tick mark to be enabled. Put these settings, click on save. Okay, now the GL account master is created. Now considering this, we have understood that the GL accounts related to cash are created separately. So even when you are creating the GL account master upload based on your chart of account, you have to take special care related to petty cash if you have any. Because the description is not like that you are creating, it is based on the respective cash journal. You need to discuss, look at the KDS document related to cash journal and how many GL accounts are required, what is the description that you are giving, and what is the cash journal description. Match it once again, make sure everything is aligned, only then you create the cash journal GL account. Now GL account is available 12101000. First step is now created. Second one is number range interval. We assumed that number range interval is a one-time setting. Yesterday we already maintained the setting. Let me open the T code once again. FBCJC1. I'll come back. FBCJC1. And here I will give the company code 9PBI. If I click on change intervals, the number range interval is currently updated here. Interval is 01. We will be maintaining a single number range interval because this is not related to cash journal. This is related to company code. Nowhere you are telling that this is related to cash journal 1000, 1001, 1002. It is the common number range for the total cash journal document at company code level. So you will be maintaining a number range 01 only. Come back. So it's a one-time setting. Since we already maintained in the last session, I am not maintaining this setting. So it's a one-time setting. Come back. So this setting is now completed. Just number range maintenance. Range interval must be 01. You can put any number from 6 digit to 10 digit. Ideally, we will be using a 6 digit number range for this. If you want, you can create 8 digit, 10 digit also, but normally we don't use it. 6 digit will be sufficient for your cash journal document number ranges. Next one, set up a cash journal. This is to be maintained 5 times, which means for every separate cash journal, this configuration step has to be repeated. FBCJC0. I'll go to next screen. FBCJC0. Here you need to maintain this setting. Now here when we are talking about this setting, we need to understand a little more points here. First, what I will do, I will try to copy from the existing record. I'll copy from 0001. Even in the real time, you are going to do like this only. You will not click on new entry. You don't update everything one by one. We don't do like this even in the project. Even when you are configuring this in project, we will be working based on copy functionality. You will copy from the SAP standard cash journal, which is 0001, and you will be amending or modifying according to your requirement. I will copy this standard one. Click on copy. Company code that you are going to create is 9PBI. Cash journal number. This is coming from your KDS document. As per our requirement, we understood this cash journal number will be 1001. Sorry, 1000. I will put cash journal number 1000 here. Next one, GL account that is created for this cash journal. For this cash journal, we have created one GL account, which is your 1210 1000. 1210 1000. Okay. Next one, currency. In which currency you are operating this cash journal? You are operating this cash journal in INR currency. Put INR. Next one, next option is cash journal closed. In case if you are not using this cash journal, let's say for any reason you have closed this, you are no longer using it, you will enable this tick so that nobody can work on this cash journal going forward. And here these document types are important. First one, document type for GL account posting. Second one, document type for disbursements. Next one for vendor related transaction and for the customer related transaction. In general, we will be using a cash journal for three types of account. One is GL account, the other one is customer account, and the other one is vendor account. For vendor account, for customer account, for GL account, which document type you want to create? If you want to create a separate cash journal related document type, you can create it. Normally, we will be recommending to use a separate document type for easy identification purpose. By looking at the document type, it will be easy to identify this is cash journal document or this is cash transaction, petty cash transaction. Here the document type in standard it is AB. Normally AB document will be used for clearing a transaction. In general, in any project, in any organization, AB document represents clearing a document. It's a clearing document. We will not be using this AB document type here. We will be needing a new document type. For example, I will be using a new document type. Let me write down here. Additional point. Let's say BMW will identify cash journal transaction with separate document types as below. You are going to identify cash journal transaction with separate document type as below. Now we have seen here you have got three type of transactions. One is GL, the other one is customer, and the last one is vendor. Here let me write GL transactions, customer transactions, and vendor transactions. Assuming for GL related transactions, you will be creating a document type. Let's say let us verify what document types are currently created. To view the document type, transaction code is OBA7. Let me go to OBA7. In OBA7, GL account normally you are going to identify based on account type S. Let me go to S. S. Now, let's say there is one document type called SJ here, cash journal document. We can use it for GL postings. We can use it for GL posting. So I will be writing SJ here. I will be using SJ for GL related transaction. For customer related transaction, normally with customer, what we will do, we are not going to create the invoice. We are not going to create the credit memo. What we will be doing for customer, we will be creating a payment transaction. Either you pay to customer as refund or you will receive from customer as a receipt. Either of these cases, payment related document type is needed. For the regular payments related to customer, the document type will be DZ. If I go to document type DZ. Now here we need to understand few logics. Now why all your customers document types are starting from D in standard? Because customer account type is D in SAP. Customer account type is D in SAP. That is the reason customer specific document type will generally start from D. Even when you are creating a new document type for customer, it is recommended you create it starting with D so that it's easy to identify. D represents D data customer. On the other side, whenever you are creating any document type for vendor, in general, all the vendor related transaction types will be K, like KR, KZ and all, because vendor is identified with document type, sorry, your account type K. Document type for vendor is generally created starting from K. So everything, even if you see in the standard SAP, everything is interlinked, interconnected. So these connections, links, slowly we have to start understand. Once you understand, accordingly, you need to map your new entries. Just like that, you cannot create whatever the identification that you want because it is irrelevant, illogical. We need to make sure logically you're adding a new entry so that it will give good impression even when somebody is looking at what you're doing. Maybe your project manager, whosoever, they understand that you are working in a logical, in a practical manner. Now for GL, the existing document type we have already taken, which is SJ. SJ because S is related to GL account, it is starting from S. Next one for customer. For customer D. In D series, we have 1, 2, 3, this one. Now what I will do, there is nothing called DC. I will create a DC. Now when I create a DC, I need to make sure I will copy this from DZ. I will select DZ. Here also I don't create a new entry. Here also I am not creating a new entry. What I am doing, I am copying from the existing document type. When you're copying, don't copy from whatever you see it there. Look at the appropriate relevant one. From the relevant one only you need to copy. Even when you're copying, just like that you should not copy. Make sure you are going to create customer payment. Try to copy it from customer payment. Even though you can copy from any other point, but that is not the right approach to do it. I will copy customer payment. Click on copy icon here. I'll make this DJ. Okay, I'm making it as DJ because the naming convention is also similar. SJ for GL cache entries, DJ for customer cache entries, similarly KJ for vendor cache entries. Number range, everything will remain as it is. We don't create new number range and all. These experiments we will not make it here. You're only going to create a new document type because your transactions are always identified by the document type, not by the number. Because one document number range will be used by different document types. Never go by document number range. Always you should go based on the document type. And this is used for customer account GL account. Restrict only for customer GL. With this document type, you will not be able to record any entry to asset, supplier and secondary cost element material. Make sure this is enabled, and you should also enable intercompany.
Hello,
Sorry.
sir. Your voice
We
is
need
not
to,
coming, huh?
yeah. So we need to make sure the account types allowed are customer and GL account to ensure that whenever you select a document type DJ, system allows entry only between customer and vendor GL account. Other accounts are not allowed because it is strictly used for customer account, customer payment. Enable intercompany tick mark to ensure that whenever you process intercompany related payment, if you are paying to your intercompany or if you are receiving from intercompany, if this checkbox is not enabled, the transaction cannot be processed. This you perform, this you put in case if you have intercompany payment, intercompany transaction. And another point, if you wanted to make sure whenever cash payment is made, cash receipt is made, you need to ensure that the cashier will update some reference number, some identification in the transaction. You can make reference field or a header text field mandatory. Okay, so here based on the document type also you can make two fields mandatory. One is your reference, the other one is header. So while recording any transaction, these two fields become mandatory. In case if it is required, you can put it, otherwise not relevant. I'm not adding anything here. Let me press enter. I'll click on save. Is this saved? DJ is now saved. Now I will make this another entry called KJ. I'll select this DJ, not DJ. For vendor payment, I will be copying from vendor payment, which is KZ. I'll select KZ. Let me click on copy. This I am going to make it as KJ. Everything as usual. For vendor, asset is enabled. I will remove asset. I'll put intercompany, enter. And then come back one level. First save this setting. Please be on mute, those who are not talking. Once this is saved, we need to make sure that the descriptions are properly assigned. If you go inside the document type, you will not find a description anywhere. Description is maintained outside of this. So against this, currently vendor payment, here I will put vendor cash payment. By looking at the document type, it is identified that this is your vendor cash payment. Next one, DJ. This is your customer payment. I will put customer cash payment. And the last one that is already existing, here I can put cash journal document. This is one. I'll click on save this. Now the document types are created. Let me write the document types here. SJ for GL transaction, customer transaction we created DJ, vendor transaction we created KJ. Now whenever a new document type is created in SAP, you need to immediately maintain document splitting configuration. Whenever new document type is created, immediately you need to maintain document splitting configuration. Otherwise, while posting the transaction, system will start throwing errors. So this is mandatory. So what we will do, I will put document splitting configuration is mandatory for all newly configured or for all newly created document types. This is mandatory setting. This is not nowhere related to your cash journal, but this is related to your standard SAP functionality. So you should not see, you should not think only from the cash journal point of view. You should see it from SAP point of view also. To run this scenario, what other settings are required? Only then your functionality will work as expected. Otherwise, we will not think that document splitting is also required because we are under an impression that this is already maintained. Since we have added a new document type, this becomes mandatory. To do the document splitting, I'll go to config, SPRO, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transaction, document splitting. What we need to maintain, we created a new document type. You will find a setting related to classify document type for document splitting. This setting is required whenever you add a new document type in SAP. Open this setting. You don't have a new entry option here because by default this screen will display all the document type. If you see here, CJ is what we created. It is already appearing here, but against CJ there is nothing called transaction, there is nothing called variant. If these points are blank, if these are not updated, this document type cannot be used for your transaction posting because these settings are mandatory. Now this cash journal posting we copied from customer payment. For customer payment, whatever is there, just put it as it is here. It is 1000 and 0001. Same thing you need to put. No need to think anything. It is standard, straightforward. CJ is what I have put. Next one what we created was KJ. KJ is a copy of KZ. Whatever is there for KZ, same thing you need to put for KJ. Same thing, 1000 0001. If by mistake only
Sir,
you put vendor invoice, I'll take the questions at the
sorry,
end.
sir. No question, sir. Sir, we have created DJ na instead of CJ. You have copied the number from DJ to CJ, but we have
CJ
created
is
DJ for customer cash payment, right? That's
no
my
DJ
question.
DJ.
Please check once, sir.
One sec.
But you set it for CJ, sir.
That's I am just to CJ. You have copied here from. You need to put in
Sorry,
DJ column, sir.
correct. So this will be your essay. Whatever is there
Yes,
for
right.
your normal AB, you're right. My mistake. So 0000. CJ we used for what?
No CJ, sir. Only DJ. DJ for customer payment, sir. It is
CJ we
not
are not
Ajay,
configure any
using.
CJ. No, no,
SJ
yes,
you
yes,
have
sir.
to put for the GL.
Uh,
SJ.
Yeah,
is it
right.
is
Correct. Let me reconnect to the server. This is down or my network is down. Others are working. All right. So CJ, what I'll do, I'll just come out. I'll not make any changes to this. Let me relog in again. Yeah, it's back. Save changes. No, I don't want to make any changes. Let me reopen this. Okay, so CJ is not something that we are using. I'm not going to make anything to this. What we are using is DJ, first one. For DJ, it is your customer cash payment. DJ is a copy of DZ. For DZ, whatever is there, you need to put as it is. It is 1000 followed by 0001. This is the first cash journal document type. Second one is your KJ. This is your KJ. For KJ, we are using a copy of 1000. For 1000, it is 1000 followed by 0001. Same thing is updated for KJ vendor cash payment also. Last one that we were going to use is SJ. For SJ also, it is currently given as payment. Normally, this is not relevant as payment. You can create this one 0000 followed by 0001, unspecified this one. Enter. I am writing 0000 for this. I'll proceed to save it. Now with this, our document splitting configuration also completed for the newly added document type. I'll come back. Now, this setting also we have maintained. Next one. Now we are on this screen. To complete this screen, we had to see document type configuration plus document splitting configuration also. Now, next one. Go to this screen. Here, document types we need to update. First one is related to GL transaction. For GL transaction, we understood it will be SJ. It will be SJ. Second one, for vendor transactions, we assumed it is KJ. Vendor cash payment. Here also, vendor cash payment KJ. DZ will be replaced by DJ. Same thing, it will be DJ. After that, cash journal name. Whatever the name that we have identified, you need to put this. Now you need to make sure these names are properly identified, confirmed by the client, because this is not the GL description. This is your cash journal description. Tomorrow if they say, no, the name is not correct, it's a configuration change. So again, you need to create a TR to make the changes to it. So what I'll put, I'll give this BMW Mumbai INR cash journal. And the next one is your authorization group. Next one is your authorization group. Normally what we will do with this authorization group is, for example, if I am working for this particular cash journal for Mumbai office. For Mumbai office, only the Mumbai staff is supposed to access the cash journal because it is the sensitive data. Not everybody can pass the entry in cash journal. It is supposed to be processed only by a single user or by limited users, not by every user. Like any other entry, when you process to any GL account, any user can pass the entry, but cash journal is not like that. Cash journal is something different. Here you will be maintaining a concept called authorization group. In the authorization group, you have to maintain authorization group. It's a free text field. This will be exactly the same as your cash journal number. If it is 1000, you are going to maintain 1000 here. If it is 1000 there, you will be updating 1000 here. Okay, now where we will be using this 1000, I'll explain you shortly. Proceed to save this. Enter. Now this setting is completed. Come back. Now here let me add another point. Authorization group. Authorization group 1000. This is we are updating same like your cash journal code. And this setting is completed. Set up cash journal. Next one is maintain business transaction. As we said, this is a one-time setting. Irrespective of number of cash journals, number of company codes, you need to create it one time. If you look at this screen, which we created just now, FBCJC0, this is at company code level. For every company code, for every new cash journal, this setting has to be maintained separately. Next setting will be FBCJC2. If you go to FBCJC2, this is your cash journal transaction. Here there is a company code. Now again, this is a company code specific. You need to check this at what level these settings are created. If you scroll down and then check your company code, our company code is currently already maintained here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are already maintained. Here what did we maintain? We have maintained standard 6 business transactions provided by SAP. They are your ECBKDR. Each of this is expanded like this. E is representing a cash payment. C is representing a cash withdraw from bank. B is cash deposit in bank. K is vendor cash payment. D is customer cash receipt. R is cash receipt. Now, when we are maintaining this, you need to ensure that if you have GL account default functionality, when I say default GL, sometimes your client may tell whenever we deposit the cash or whenever we withdraw the cash, we always deposit from X bank, we always withdraw from Y bank. Now your client may tell, no, we don't deposit in any other bank apart from this, or we don't withdraw cash from any other bank apart from this particular bank. If that is the requirement, to make sure incorrect bank account is not used during the transaction posting, you have to put the bank GL account here. If the requirement is like user will have to get a GL account automatically populated there, but normally we don't use this functionality. Normally we don't use this functionality. We will leave this blank. If you are leaving this blank, you need to make sure any GL account can be used. If you want the system to allow you to use any GL account, make sure you will enable this account modifiable tick mark. This is your account modifiable during document entry. While posting the transaction, you can choose any GL account. If you put this, system will allow you to change the GL account. If you don't put this, but if you put a GL account here, it will take only this GL account, whatever is updated here, and this GL cannot be changed during the transaction. Normally we don't use this functionality. Very rare this will be used. Next one is your tax code. If you are using tax functionality, sometimes based on the GL account, system will ask you to input a tax code. For certain GL accounts, like for certain expenses, income related transaction, based on the GL master data setting, you will be putting tax code mandatory, post automatically, all the settings will be maintained related to taxation. So those settings will ask you to input a tax code. User will tell every time I don't want to put a tax code here, I want system to take tax code automatically. In that case, you will put a default tax code here, maybe V0, A0, 0% tax or 10% tax, 15% tax, 5% tax, and you will enable the tax modifiable here. If you put a tax modifiable here, system will allow you to change the tax code during the transaction posting. Okay, only these two functionalities we will be using. Now these 6 are standard functionalities to be configured for every company code, irrespective of number of cash channels that you have. Apart from this 6, we are assuming we are talking about another cash journal. We are talking about another cash journal where you are going to use it for opening balance upload. For opening balance upload, you are going to use a GL transaction. For GL transaction, it will be E. Or you can select under anything. I am going to select under E. If you open the list here, E is nothing but expense. Or you can also use receipt from bank account. Anything you can create which is related to GL account. Either your expense E or receipt R, or CB, bank receipt or payment. I am going to select, let's say, receipt, or I will select receipt from bank account. C I will select, sorry, this is supposed to be E only. I should not change it. And I am going to copy from cash deposit, and the current number is 6. I'll make a copy of it. It has become 7 automatically. When it became 7, it is starting to give an error message here. We need to understand what error message is coming and how we will be creating this. It is telling that accounting a transaction name cash deposit is already created. So it is talking about this. If it is talking about this, I'll put some other thing here. It is allowing. So what I'll do, I'll change the description here as cash opening balance upload. Okay, I will write cash opening balance upload. Something like this, I'll put a description. Save this. So what did we do? We created another business transaction type with the name as cash opening balance upload. Now come back here. Now if you select your company code, there will be 7 business transactions: cash payment, cash withdrawals, cash deposit, vendor cash payment, customer cash payment, and cash receipt opening balance upload. These are the business transactions which we created. Let me come back here. Here also it's a one-time setting for your company code. Again and again, whenever you add a new cash journal, we don't maintain or we don't make this configuration settings repeatedly. It's a one-time config for your company code. Next one, set up print parameters for cash journal FBCJC3. This is also one-time setting. FBCJC3. Make sure you will select your company code, and against your company code there is a program and there is a correspondence form. So we will see it first. Later on we are going to make some amendments, changes to this correspondence, to this form, to ensure your company name, your company logo will appear in the appropriate manner. Okay, so what we will do here, while posting the first entry, I'll show the sample. This is sample printout. We will be giving it to the client, and client will tell us what modifications are required in that program, in that form. So basically it's a ABAP programming related to smart form. Based on the requirement that we take from the client, we are going to write a functional specification and we will give it to the ABAP consultant. They will make necessary changes in the respective programs to make sure company name, logo, whatever the information that your client requires on the cash journal printouts will be accommodated. So this setting is again one time. Come back. Now with these settings, your cash journal configuration is completed. So even though you have n number of cash journal, it's a simple configuration because there is only one configuration that you need to maintain. It's only set up a cash journal. FBCJC0 is your configuration. FS00 is master data. Otherwise, the remaining settings and all one time setting. Even though you get a ticket to create a cash journal, make sure you tell only one setting, not the entire setting. If you are telling the entire settings that you created for your new support ticket or for a new requirement related to addition of a cash journal, you are wrong, because as we have seen, those settings are one-time settings. You cannot create a second time. But if you are explaining that you created all these points, it is clearly representing that we have not created in a practical environment. Now, after this, let us make sure that we will run the cash journal screen to ensure that the cash journal is visible now. To see the cash journal, transaction code is FBCJ. I'll go to FBCJ. In FBCJ, you need to make sure your cash journal is opened. So this is your FBCJ screen. On the top, you have an icon called Change Cash Journal. At the bottom also, you have an option to change cash journal here. Either top or bottom, you can click on this. If you select this, give your company code, remove the cash journal blank, open the drop down. It will give you the list of cash journals. Now, earlier we were talking about a point related to authorization group. Earlier we were talking related to authorization group, assuming that I am a staff, I am an employee working in Mumbai location. I am the cashier working in Mumbai location. I am strictly supposed to record cash transactions only in Mumbai cash journal, which is 1000. Now I am not supposed to post any entries in Hyderabad cash journal. Now if system is allowing, by mistakenly I may record the entries, which will create a lot of inconsistencies, which is not at all required, which is not a requirement from any client, because they want to restrict this particular user is strictly authorized to record the entries only in the respective or only in the relevant cash journal screen. For that, we are going to maintain the authorization group concept. During the configuration, whatever the authorization group that we created, this authorization group will be used for the role creation that you are going to maintain. As we know, every screen that you are going to create is based on the authorization role or role. In the user master, you are going to create a authorization role with the help of a basis consultant. With the help of basis consultant, for every cash journal, there will be a new role created. If it is related to Mumbai cash journal, there will be a new role called BMW Mumbai cash journal. Something like that, a role will be created. The user who is working in Mumbai location, this user will be assigned with that role. Only the user with that Mumbai cash journal role in the user master data is allowed to record entry in the Mumbai cash journal. Otherwise, it will give an error message. You are not authorized to pass entries in this cash journal. This is a standard requirement for any project, for any client. Now let me select Mumbai cash journal. 1000 is the cash journal code. If I open this, as of today, currently there is no entry. Cash journal has got no balances. Now when you are migrating the cash balances, you need to ensure whatever was the opening balance as part of your initial trial balance. Whatever the cash balance was there as part of your initial trial balance, you need to ensure that opening balance will reflect here. Now, how do we ensure that the opening balance will reflect here? Let us try to understand. I'll put cash opening balance upload. Same point. I'll say go live date. So let's assume that you are going live in next month. I'll say 13 November 2023. Assuming that go live date is 13th November 2023, and with this your cutover date will be 31st October 2023. Okay, and your trial balance date is also same thing. You will be receiving the trial balance for the same date. Now assuming from your trial balance, let me write a trial balance here. Let's say in your trial balance, you are able to see Mumbai cash as 8,500. Mumbai cash is 8,500 in your trial balance. Now what you are going to do during the trial balance, you are going to upload the entries based on the BDC upload or migrate your data LTMC according to the version of your SAP. Now, while doing this activity, you need to ensure cash journal related GL accounts are excluded. We need to make sure cash journal GL accounts are excluded. Why do we need to exclude cash journal GL account? Because cash journal is to be uploaded based on the cash journal screen only. You cannot upload based on the BDC or based on the migrate your data. If you upload using the BDC, migrate your data or manual posting, what system will do is it will bring the record only in the GL. Your trial balance will show the balance, your GL account report will show the balance, but when you come to cash journal, you will not see any balance here, because the whole objective of your cash journal is to record any transaction related to cash on the single screen called cash journal. Your opening balance is supposed to reflect here. If it is reflecting on this screen, it will update everywhere automatically. Your GL report, trial balance, balance sheet, everything is automatically updated if entry is recorded here. Anywhere you record the entry apart from this screen, it will not come here. It will go everywhere, but it will not come here. If the entry is not coming onto the cash journal screen, it is a mistake. It's a straight away mistake. Your client will tell that my cash is showing in the GL account, but I'm not able to use my cash because there is no balance here. It is showing zero. It is showing zero balance. With zero balance, you cannot record any entry. So it's a straight away big mistake. You should not commit this. Tomorrow when somebody is asking you, how do you migrate cash balances? Don't tell you will upload using BDC or migrate your data. That's a mistake. That is not the way you upload, you migrate cash balances. Cash balances are always migrated based on the petty cash screen or cash journal screen by way of creating a new business transaction called opening balance upload or data migration. Now here we need to upload. Let us understand how we have to upload. We are going live in November month. According to this, we need to ensure you have received the trial balance of October month and cutover date is set as October month. Accordingly, you need to load it. Your client has to see this 8,500 as opening balance in November. If you wanted to see this as opening balance in November, this has to be posted as closing balance of October. So entry must be recorded in October month. For recording the entry in October month, what I'll do, I'll go to cash journal. I will select current period, or you can select current date. Change the date to 31 because this is the date on which you want to record the entry. Okay, 31 I've put. And business transaction, your cash account balance, if it is representing a debit balance, in short positive balance, go to cash receipt tab. If it is showing a negative balance or a credit balance, go to cash payment. Normally cash credit balance is not allowed. There is no way that your cash will show a negative balance. Negative balance straight away, it's a ruled out situation. Always go to cash receipt, and here you need to open the drop down, select your company code, enter. Here you need to select cash opening balance upload. You need to select this one and amount. So our opening balance is 8,500 GL account. Now GL account that you are going to use here is takeover account, 8 series takeover account to be used here. We have not created takeover account. Let me see what is the group. 8110. I'll make a copy of it. Balance sheet account 8110. GL description will be, I'll put TB takeover account, or if you want you can put TB cash takeover account, anything you can put. I'm just writing trial balance takeover account. This is not open item, line item is fine, and this is G001. Proceed to save this. GL account 811 all zeros is now created. If I open the drop down for the GL account here, we should get that GL account number. I'll put 8 star. If I put 8 star, system will give the GL account which is starting from 8 series. Press enter. It is giving one GL account TB takeover. Select this GL account TB takeover. Double click on this. Next one. In the receipt, this here you can put any update. Let's say opening balance, text also, opening balance. Supplier, customer is not relevant. Posting date is strictly 31st October. Do we have document date? No. Document date is also same. Reference, opening balance upload, base amount and all not relevant. Input, profit center. Profit center here. Now, when you input this, system is giving a message. When you input this, you are getting a message. What message we are getting? You cannot use accounting a transaction type payment here. Now, why it is giving a payment? Let us go to the config. If I go to the configuration, where did we create our this one? FBCJC2. Go to our company code. Opening balance upload, we have given as B. If I open the drop down here, B is nothing but payment to bank. So ideally it is supposed to be a receipt. Receipt will be your C. I'll change this to C. Enter. Now we should also pay attention on how our accounting is playing here. Save this. Now I have changed this configuration. Let me come back here. I'll try to press enter once again. So it is giving a message, posting date is in future, please check. Enter. So when you are getting this kind of messages, especially for posting date is in future, this is coming from a validation. Let me double click on this error message. So this is message coming like this. Now why this message is coming, posting date is in future? Now if you look at the message number, it is F5A241. F5A241. This is standard message. Now why it is giving? Because you cannot record anything in cash journal with future date. Cash journal entries are not supposed to be recorded with future date because cash is subject to daily reconciliation. You are not supposed to record any entry with tomorrow's date today. Similarly, yesterday's transaction with today's date. You can go backwards, but you cannot go forward. So what I need to do, I need to make sure I will change this. For time being, I am changing this to current date because when you're performing this activity, you will be performing this activity after 31st October only because you will be receiving the trial balance after first week of November. I'll press enter. After you press enter, make sure select the transaction, click on save first. Click on save, enter. Now it has updated the balance as 8,500. It has updated balance as 8,500. And if I go to next period, in short, if I go to next period, which is your November, this if you see, this is your November date. In the November month, system is giving you opening balance as 8,500. This is what is required for your client. When you hand over the system to your client in the month of November, once they open the petty cash screen, they have to see the closing balance of cash in the legacy system as opening balance as cash in the SAP system. This is required. Once you see this, press enter, select your transaction and click on post. I posted already. Where is this entry?
Sir,
I
in
have to go.
October month.
Yeah. Select this entry, click on post. Now it is giving a message interval 13 is not available. This is because we have created a new document type. For that document type, document number range was 13. I'll go to FBN1, our company code, change interval, insert a new interval 13, 2023, 13, all zeros, 13, all lines, save it. After this, come back here, select this once again, click on post selected entry. Okay, if it turns green, which means the entry is successfully posted. Now, normally whenever we upload any data from trial balance, the logic is if trial balance shows debit balance, the GL account will be debited, your opening balance upload account or your takeover account will be credited. Let us see what accounting entry system processed here. I will select this transaction, click on follow on document. And if you see this, your accounting entry is cash journal Mumbai account debit, TV takeover account credit. The same accounting entry we would have processed even if you upload using BDC or migrate your data LTMC. Same accounting entry has come here. It is showing as opening balance upload. This is all about your cash journal data migration. After this, if you want to record any transaction, once the project has gone live, you will be using as usual. Let's say you processed a payment. You need to open the drop down. But before we do it, let us make sure the GL account balances are tallying. 8,500 should be reflected in GL account. If I go to FAGLB03, I just wanted to see the balance. 1120 1000 for fiscal year 2023. Click on execute. What is the GL account?
1200 1000.
1200 1000. Here you can see the trial balance month, which is your 10th period. October is where you uploaded the trial balance. In October, closing balance is 8,500. In November, opening balance is 8,500. So you need to ensure the balance is properly reflecting here. And after this, when your user is using the cash journal, after the go live date, we need to make sure the payment related entry or any entry is processed on a daily basis as usual. Now, since cash journal does not allow you to record future dated entries, I will record the entry with current date. I'll open the drop down, select any transaction. Let's say I will select cash payment. I will say 500 is the payment amount to a GL account. Let me take any one expense account. 4 series. I will take operating expenses. Let's say expense, posting date. This is all fine. Reference also expenses, profit center. If I put profit center, select this, click on save first. Now why we need to click on save first? Because whenever you perform any cash journal transaction in any project, this is based on maker checker concept. When we talk about maker checker concept, the person who is creating the petty cash is supposed to save the entry first, and his authorized person or his boss, the cashier, manager or the other person is supposed to verify the transaction and then post the transaction. So that is where you are going to have dual control on the cash transactions to ensure cash balances will exactly match with your physical cash, to make sure that daily cash reconciliation is happening in a proper manner. The person, whoever is recording the entry, will first click on save only. They will save first, and once it is validated, they will click on post. It will be posted. Once it is posted, it will update the GL account balance 8,000. Only after posting, GL account will be updated. When you save, only cash journal will be updated. Sometimes you will find a mismatch. Sometimes when I say you will find a mismatch, let me show you now here. Currently, the closing cash balance is 8,000 in my cash journal screen. If I go to GL account balance, come back, refresh, here also it is 8,000, which means my closing balance is exactly matching. What if I record a transaction, another payment? I'll copy this transaction and I will only save this. After this saving, my petty cash is showing available cash as 7,500, assuming that I forgot to post this. Assuming that I forgot to post this, balance has become 7,500. If I try to do the reconciliation at the end of the day, my point of reconciliation is GL account closing balance. I will select the GL account, I'll click on execute, and I will check what is the closing balance. As per GL, closing balance is 8,000, whereas as per petty cash, closing balance is 7,500. There is a mismatch. This mismatch is not supposed to happen at the end of the day. So you have to sit and then reconcile why the mismatches are happening. We need to sit and make sure why the mismatches are happening. These mismatches will have to be identified. If there is any transaction which is created but forgotten to be posted, so you need to select the respective entry, click on post. When you click on post, it is 7,500. If you go back to GL, come back. If you run the report, it is 7,500. We need to make sure cash balances will exactly tally. Now, once cash balances are exactly tallying, at the end of the day, every organization like the cashier will have to document it. The reconciliation sheet, he has to file it. To do it, they will click on print cash journal on the top. They will click on print cash journal for the particular day only, not the monthly cash journal, daily cash journal, because it is subject to daily reconciliation. For this particular day, for example, this is posted today's date. I'll select it today. '27. Now, if I click on print cash journal on the top, you will get a printout. You will get a printout here. This will be printed. This will be printed on the A4 size sheet. When I give print, it will be printed on the A4 size sheet. This printout will be signed by the person who is working on cash and the person who is part of the reconciliation. Both the users, the person who is working on the cash counter, the person who is responsible for the reconciliation or verification, will also put the signature. They will file it, which means they will store this document somewhere. Tomorrow when somebody wants to verify on this particular date what was the closing balance, who confirmed it, who verified it, this will be a proof. When I say this will be a proof, they will be physically signing it here, because there is no digital this one for here, because it's a physical cash. You have to count in front of me physically. I need to see the cash is exactly matching with what it is on the system. Then we will deposit, we will hand over the cash in the locker, or we will put it in the bank, whatsoever. But you need to ensure at the end of the day, cash balances are exactly matching. The cash journal printout will be taken and it will be filed. This is common practice, common process in every organization, whoever is using petty cash or cash journal. Come back. Now in this, there are few points that we have to understand. What are the few points that we need to understand is, sometimes you will be receiving a cash from your customer or some other sources. You need to provide receipt to the cash. Let's say you paid something to the cash, you need a receipt that the cash is deposited, paid. For that, you need to select the respective transaction and you need to click on receipt. You will find something called print receipt. If you click on receipt, click on continue. Whenever system is asking you to provide output device or printer, always give LP01 in capital letter. LP01 is a dummy printer in SAP which will give you a PDF. Click on continue. If you directly want to print, your printer will be configured. You have to select the printer here. And this is how you will get the receipt. Now this is where we were talking about a smart form. Whatever the last setting we maintained, where at the company code level we assigned the program, in that program the ABAP consultant will change this smart form. What they will do, they will remove this IDES logo, they will put your company logo. In our example, BMW logo will be placed here. Now you need to give this printout, to the your client, and you have to ask them if you want any corrections here, any additional point you need to add here. They have to tell us. They will tell change the heading, put the logo in the middle, date should appear on the left side. Any other point that they are adding, you can consider it. If they want to add any additional field here, like business area they don't want, profit center is required, or any other point, any other field, you have to add accordingly. For this, we need to write a small functional specification, provide it to the ABAP consultant. They will do the changes. Then you do a testing. Make sure your testing will provide the logo here. To do it, you need to collect the high definition logo, in short, HD logo from your client. It should not be that your client will do. This is quite common. You need to ask them to provide logo in some bitmap format. Sometimes what client will do, he will take screenshot, he will attach in the email, and when you put this in the program, it will be blur, so it will look very dull. So that is not required. So what you need the original logo of it, that every company will have it, like that bitmap image or JPG PNG image will be there. That original format will be given to us, that we will assign it to it. The moment you give it to the technical guy, ABAPer will tell, no, I need the original logo, because when you put it, the pixels will get enlarged. It will not be printed properly when you take a printout on the paper. Okay, so this is about your cash journal printout. In short, this is the overall business process related to cash journal. Simple functionality, simple process. Next points that you need to work on this cash journal is point number 1. Assignments in cash journal. First one is line layout. When I'm talking about line layout, this is common point in your cash journal. When we talk about line layout, if you see the cash journal screen here, assuming I need to record another entry, I will put amount here, and if I have to put text, every time I need to go a lot of times right side. To put profit center, if you see, it's somewhere at the corner. Now I want to align these fields in a sequential order. I want this profit center to appear somewhere here, something like this. Somewhere here I want to see my profit center. So in short, you need to change the field alignment here. How do you change field alignment in the cash journal screen? This you can talk as your support ticket. When somebody is asking you about a support ticket, you can put this, that the line alignment or line layout in the cash journal was to be aligned or realigned, remapped. That was the requirement. Why? Because document date is here, posting date is somewhere else, profit center is some other place. User will have to switch between lot of fields. It is time taking every time they record a transaction. What they want, whatever the fields that they are updating to record a transaction, everything is arranged in the sequential order. that is your line layout. If you see on the same screen, exactly at the right side, you have an option called configuration here. If you click on this configuration, okay, you will get a screen here, and here you need to create a variant and do the setting. This we will do later on. This is one point that you'll have to work, the line layout changing for the cash journal screen. Second one, hiding or removing of specific tab from here. Let's say you have cash payment, you have cash receipt, you have check receipt. Now your client will tell, we don't use check receipt, I don't want to see this check receipt. You need to hide check receipt from the cash journal screen. Now second one, hide check receipt column from screen, not column, check receipt tab. This check receipt should be hidden. This is another point. And the last one that you need to work on is to remove post icon and to remove save icon, which means you need to create two transactions for saving and for posting. If your client is proceeding with maker checker concept, your client wants to tell you that no, the person who is working in the cash counter or who is recording the cash entries, they should not have the post icon here. They will simply tell they should not have post icon, they should see only save icon, because it should be posted only after the verification by the authorized person. If the icon is available, instead of clicking here, if the user is clicking here, it will get posted. So for that, you need to, third one, hide post or save icon and create Z T code for saving, posting separately. This is another point you need to remember, you need to understand from the cash journal perspective, so that your cash journal practice, configuration, understanding is up to date from your any project point of view. Okay, so in general, this is all about your cash journal functionality, the way you create in any project, how do you migrate the data, how do you record the transaction, what additional points you can experiment on the cash journal, or these 3 points. And the other points will be like the transactions which we will do, like you can put copy of entries, next one delete entries, sixth one reverse entries, seventh one tables related to cash journal. These points I want you to work as assignment, we will be discussing shortly, but I want you to practice and then experiment on these points to have clear understanding. Okay, any questions now you can ask. Divya?
Sir, can I add denomination column? Field, denomination field.
You can not add any column, but you can use any of the existing column where you are not receiving. Let's say receipt received, here you can put, because denominations can be multiple, right? Let's say if you have 3-4 type of denominations, you cannot put 3-4 columns for one entry, right? You need to put, let's say 10 into 4 and let's say 50 into 1. Is this what you're trying to say?
Yes, like when in end of the day we can know how many 100 current like 100 denomination notes are there, 200. So when we count separately manually, like 100 notes are this many, and in system also it should show as 100 notes, so it should reconcile. So
You
that
can
setting
use
can
any of the column here where you are not using it. Maybe you can use it in receipt, this one, this column you can use it, or in the text column, or in the reference. Any of the column where you are currently not using, you can make use of it for your requirement. but we will not add any new columns. If you see, there are a lot of columns here, correct? We will not be
Yes.
working on all the columns. You can pick any one column which is currently not used. In that column, you are going to add this, because tomorrow in your reporting, you may be requiring that information. So you need to take a unique column every time the same column is used for that data. Only then your report will give you the information.
Okay. As a text, we can maintain that information like 100 into 2. So as a text form.
Not in the text, but ideally the receipt voucher in the receipt column or anywhere, because text you are going to write the narration of it. Why cash is received, why cash is paid.
Okay.
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 Divya?
Sir, sir, you said that number range is maintained at company code level, right?
Yes.
Sir, once please open that Excel sheet, sir.
Okay.
Scroll up now, sir. Yeah, here, define number range interval for cash journal documents. Uh, as we took 5 company codes. For 5 company codes, we have to maintain 5 times.
Five times.
I mean,
5 times. Yeah, yeah.
okay. Sir, and what is the need of creating USD cash journal at Mumbai location? Does that done in real time or
Sometimes,
examples?
yeah, sometimes let's say if somebody is going on a travel or whatsoever, your company will have to give the travel advance and all in cash, right? They need cash in dollars.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for that purpose, they also maintain dollars or any other currency. It is purely the company's requirement, but dollar is majoritarily used in all the companies, because
Okay.
every time they cannot go and buy from the market, right? Though they will give you the forex card, but the cash is also provided.
Okay.
It's
Sir, and
completely
one more thing.
optional, but if it is the requirement, we have to understand how it is used.
Okay. Sir, one more thing. You said about authorization, right? For that,
Correct.
user master data configuration is to be done. So, is there any T code for that, or a basis consultant responsibility? Is it basis consultant responsibility?
It's the basis consultant responsibility. If you go to any user master, for example, SU01, okay, if I put my user ID, if I click on display user, you will find an option called roles here.
Okay.
Here roles are assigned. Now you will be creating a role for every cash channel separately. Let's say ZFI underscore Mumbai cash, ZFI underscore Bangalore cash, ZFI underscore the XYZ cash. If you open, let's say, any one role from here, okay, this is the display of a role. This is pure basis activity. You don't have to do anything. Here we need to tell them the authorization object, for which go to the authorizations. Inside the authorization, if you go to display authorization data, so I'm not able to see anything because I am missing some authorizations, it seems.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got it, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you will find different authorization object, for which you have to provide the cash journal authorization group. He will update it there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Praveen,
No, sir. Sir, the number ranges for the casual documents is continuous, right? I mean, it is not year
continues.
specific.
No,
Okay, sir.
it's not year specific.
Okay, sir. Sir, can we upload the casual masters through LTNC or migrate your data?
Yes, you can upload it, but before you upload, you need to make sure the GL number and the description in line with your cash journal KDS document.
Yeah, okay, sir. Fine. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Vinod,
Sir, actually, I didn't understand this number ranges. Somewhere we mentioned 6 or 8 digit, and we have given a DG other document types, and we have used their number ranges. And again, system is asking 13 number. What basis number 13 has been asked by system?
So every cash journal document will generate two documents. Okay, one is internal cash journal document number, second one is accounting document number. Clear? Now if I go to cash journal FBCJ, if you look at the first entry, if I scroll right here, and you will find a document number called 2.
Oh yes.
Okay, and if you click on, this is internal document number, and if you click on follow on document, this will give you your 13 series document number. This is your accounting document number, that is your internal cash document number, cash journal document number. If you go to header, here you will find the document number. If you see this you need to understand. Can you read what it is? Now
One.
let me copy
One.
this. I'll put this in the Excel sheet. Okay, and if I take the length of it, this is 20 characters. Okay, now this 20 characters, how I will do is, I'll put one color for this. Okay, this I'll put another color, this I'll put another color. Okay, now your red is document number, let's say cash journal document number. Clear? And your this green is CJ number. What is the last one? Blue is company code. Now 1 1 2 3 4, this is the document number, 10 digit document number. Agree?
Yeah.
Correct? Now we are using only 6 digits. To make it 10 digits, system is putting leading zeros. First 10 digits are clear.
Yes.
Second one is your cash journal code. For Mumbai cash journal, we are using 1000 as the cash journal screen. Correct? We configured as 1000 for Mumbai.
Correct.
Company code that you are using is 9PBI. This I will show once we are talking about this. Tables related to cash journal. So when you go to table to identify the transaction, you cannot put this document number 13. With this, system will not give any record. Where is this 13? This 13, it will not give any record. You need to go by this logic, reference key. I need to split this into this logic. Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir. Sir,
So
could you
once
please
we
go to
open the table, I'll
FPGA?
explain it.
Okay,
FB.
sir. Okay, sir. CJ2.
Okay.
So, oh, sorry, sir. I'm talking with me. Okay, sir. What is this R and D and not E? R and E separate is the right. We will receive from either from bank or from customer only, right?
It depends on what entry you're putting, because when you're recording the entry, you have options like customer code, GL code, customer code, GL code, and then vendor code.
Yes.
Like if you go to FBCJ, you can put either GL account or customer account or vendor account, correct?
Yeah.
These are controlled by business transaction. If you put E, it is allowing only GL account, something like that. That's the control that system will do.
Yes.
In
Okay.
short, the account type control. Yeah. Nagavina?
Ajay. Like we uploaded the balance for the each for the first branch, right? The same way we have to upload for every branch like that, or
Yeah,
there is a
same way
other
for every manual only. There is no, we don't use any other upload tool here. It's a manual activity.
for every like
Directly in the production, we will do it manually
okay, if we have 30, then we have to go do it 30
30
times.
times.
Okay.
Correct.
And what is the split thing in this screen?
Which one?
Split
Split is
display.
like, let's say I am making a payment of 500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I have approximately some 3 4 GL accounts to be used. Then I can use this as split. So I can assign multiple GL accounts in single document. For example,
Okay.
I am paying cash, but I am paying it for, let's say, electricity, utilities, and then other something like this. 3 GL accounts I wanted to use, but I don't want 3 accounting entries. I want single accounting entry for these 3 GL accounts. Then I will be clicking on split. In split, I can put these 3 GL accounts, total of these 3 GL accounts, let's say 100 100 100. Here you will put 300. Instead of giving single GL account, here you can give multiple GL accounts. You can split.
Okay.
Let's say if you cash payment, you click on split, 300, and here you can put the other thing, second GL account, let's say 100 100 100. I can put 3 times.
Okay, I got it. And how about that OTA?
What is it?
OTA, the other side. If you go ahead beside the customer, go ahead. Yeah, this one.
This is relevant only for the customer. while
Oh,
while we are working on customer, we will do it, because we have not yet created customer. That time I'll show that.
okay. And one more question is
Okay.
that in this edit options and anything we use for the real time editing options.
Now, this is not for the editing of this. This is used for the user parameters. These are user parameters. Like if you put last display period, whatever is there, these functionalities will be defaulted on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, like you wanted to see certain things by default whenever you come. You don't want to change every time. So those are
Mm-hmm.
your user parameter.
So one more thing is that when we go for the change cash journal, is it comes with a drop down with the, if we have so many or How it comes?
It will come the list of all. It will give the full list of your company code. If you have 30, it will show you 30, but user will remember the code here. Now the code for this is 1000, right?
Yeah.
Now if I come out of this screen, if I open the screen once again, it will by default to show you which cache journal was used in the recent login. So you don't need to select every time. By default, it will be the same. And as I said in the project, if you are responsible for Mumbai cache, you will be working only on one cache journal.
Okay.
So you don't have to change it again and again. And even if you select the other one, it will throw an error. As I said, we updated authorization group, right?
Yeah.
So we will create a role, and even if you select the incorrect one, it will give an error, you are not authorized.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Ajay?
Hello. Sir, in this scenario, in my company code 9PBI, I have to create a separate setup journal number, right? You have created here one cache journal number 1000. Sir, is it created for branch wise? Means in my company code, I have 10 different branches. So I have to create 10 different setup journal, cache journal number, sir.
Correct,
Is
correct.
it so?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, branch wise means I can you elaborate this? Means
Anywhere
branch means
it is, wherever you're operating cache separately, you will have one
okay,
responsible person for cache.
right, sir.
So if like that, how many responsible areas you have for cache, those many cache
Okay,
channels you will be creating, because you cannot club cache multiple
yes,
place into one, right?
yes, sir. That's for reconciliation
You
purpose.
need to have a track why we are
Hmm.
paying, from where we are receiving and all.
Then, sir, for this scenario, we have to create multiple times GL master data and multiple times cache journal number. But remaining
Correct.
configuration are one time only, right, sir? Only two
Yes.
is numeric time. Okay,
Correct.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Manju Prasad.
Sir, my question is regarding the smart farm. If I wanted to edit anything on the smart farm, do I need to create a new T code to get generate that smart farm, or else I can able to edit that smart farm in standard T code?
Both are possible, but normally the creation of a new screen is not recommended, wherein you can edit this existing one, because it's already there. All you need is slight modifications, right?
Oh, okay. So it can be possible to edit in the standard form itself, sir.
Yes, you can edit it. They'll copy that form, whatever is currently there. They'll copy it. They'll create the new form as Z as a prefix. Then they will edit it.
But sir, now in my current client, I just asked my ABAPer to modify some peer form. Then he said that this like standard form, it's not possible that I'm going to create one customizing form. In that,
When he says
uh,
the customizing form, he's right. Let's say for every form, there is a name. Let's say if this is the cache, let's say RF cache 20, assuming that this is the form name. So what he will do, he will copy it. He will not directly edit this. That is not recommended. What he will do, he'll copy it, the same form, he will make it with Z. It will be the same form, and he will edit it. In place of this, if it is part of your configuration, you need to assign this. If it is part of the program, he will change this form to this form. Clear?
so in both way it is possible, no, sir. So in standard form, we can able to put the standard logo on top and some GL codes and something need to be added. Means it's
Yeah,
possible,
yeah,
no,
you
sir,
can
in
put, they'll
standard
change
way.
this. The logo and all is coming from, let's say, from this form. He will copy this form and he'll make a copy like Z. The same name will be there with a prefix called Z. Okay. In this Z, he will
Oh,
edit whatever you want.
yeah. Got
And
it.
the assignment, they will change from this to this, so that system will read this form and give the printout instead of this.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Abhi?
Hi sir, good evening sir. Sir,
Good
we have
evening.
created GL transaction for SJ, customer for DJ, vendor for KSJ. But in FBS, FBCJ C2, I think sir, we have assigned only one time SJ sir. Can you show that SAP screen sir?
Here you mean to say the second one is not assigned?
Yes sir.
Disbursements, we don't use it. That is why we are not using. Disbursement is used for your checks.
Okay, for vendor and
We
customer
do,
we will assign. Right?
we will assign, because for vendor and customer you can either receive or pay. Like you may issue a refund to vendor in cash. Sometimes if you paid excess, then your vendor may give you a refund, right?
Yes, understood sir.
Both are possible.
Yes sir. Thank you sir. That's it my question. Thank you sir.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, fine then. So go through this once and create one cash journal. Try to understand all the points that we listed, and also work on these areas, these assignment points, whatever I have given. Try to work on this and make a note of it, how you are able to work on these things and what questions, doubts that you are getting. Start posting your queries, errors, screenshots on the group.
Ajay, can you
Sir,
show that also contra entry one you said yesterday will show? Can you write that so you can show us next class?
Yeah,
Sir, will you send these links to the group one as well?
I will share.
Yeah, thank you.
8 point, uh, cash transfer between two cash journals. Okay.
Yeah. And one more question. You said that the support thing, right? Support ticket. So what's the level for that ticket? Like if they say that,
It will be a CR basically. It will be created as a ticket, but it will be converted as a CR, change request, because
okay,
it requires configuration.
okay, yeah,
So anything that you have to do a configuration, your ticket or incident will be converted as a CR, change request.
okay. So this one and the creation of new house bank is both are called as a CR. You're saying?
CR, correct.
Okay,
Because the user will raise it as incident, and as a
okay,
consultant, we will create a change request internally.
okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So don't we consider this year as P1 ticket or something like that? P1, P4 or something like that?
This will not be priority one. This may come as P2, P3, not so urgent.
Okay.
Because anything which is related to configuration, we need to ensure configuration is done, configuration document is prepared, unit testing is done, UT document is prepared, UAT is done, UAT document is prepared, then you will get the approval from the client. You will send an email to basis to move it to production. In short, to do the configuration, it takes approximately on an average 30 minutes to configure and then to test. Correct? Huh?
Yes,
But
sir.
there are a lot of other activities we need to carry out, like documentation, all these things, which will take time. That is why we always take, it takes 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, and
Yeah.
one more thing here, you mentioned, sir, that standard form will be copied, the smart form. For that also, we have to prepare FS, na, sir?
FS, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
sir, reference key is something generated by the SAP standard system, right, sir? This is not
SAP
our hand,
generated.
right?
No.
Okay.
Cash journal, internal document number, cash journal code, and company code combination. Those 3 points that I put in 3 colors: red, green, yellow, red, green, and then blue.
Okay. This is SAP generated, right, sir? Okay.
SAP generated. When you are looking at the tables in the point number 7 in the assignment, you will have to refer this. There you will understand automatically.
Which table, sir?
That I have not given. You have to identify and then put the tables there.
Okay, the
These are all
tables
the
will be put
assignments
there.
that I have given here, right?
Okay, right.
There are
7 number,
8
point
points
number
we have
7.
listed as assignments.
Right, sir. Understood, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
All right, fine then. So let me stop the recording.